Jewish Channel's Week in Review. President Obama rounds out his Mideast policy team. Who is a Jew in Israel faces potentially major challenges. The Holocaust-denying bishop says he's sorry, but not wrong. Beating back a sour economy with kosher wine. And a U.S. tennis star gives up big cash for Israeli solidarity. Hello, and welcome to the Jewish Channel's Week in Review. I'm Stephen I. Weiss. A Mideast advisor to both the Clinton and first Bush administrations has been named a special advisor to the Obama administration. Dennis Ross is most likely to engage in diplomacy with Iran. This comes soon after the appointment of George Mitchell as special envoy to the Middle East, where he will oversee the Israeli-Palestinian situation. To get a perspective from Obama supporters, we asked the left-wing Israel Policy Forum's Seymour Reich for his take on Ross's appointment.
Very qualified, knows the region, and if anyone can help make any inroads in terms of the Iranian issue, and particularly their nuclear capability, Dennis can probably help the Secretary, Hillary Clinton, achieve some progress in that regard.
Reich joined many others in being critical of a rumored potential appointment, that of Charles Freeman, as chairman of the National Intelligence Council.
I think it would be a bad appointment, and it would put into question some of the intelligence reports that his position would ordinarily be giving up the echelons to the president. And I would hope that the president would reconsider and not make that appointment.
Meanwhile, Israel's internal decision of who does and doesn't become a full-fledged Jewish citizen could face significant upheaval, according to two reports this week. First, Israeli newspaper Yediot Ahronot reported that Israel's interior minister of the current lame duck administration has appointed a commission to potentially change the law of return. The law of return currently grants full residency and citizenship to anyone who is at least 1/8 Jewish, but the commission may recommend that those seeking refuge prove their involvement in the Jewish community before being granted citizenship. Also this week, the Jewish Week reported on a draft document that proposes new guidelines for what the Israeli government will consider a valid conversion. Israel's conversion policy has come under fire in America for what many here see as an increasingly ultra-Orthodox standard. The draft document reportedly would recommend the imposition of additional requirements on converts, including that they spend 350 hours studying Judaism and 18 months in the Jewish community before being considered valid converts. In other American-Israeli news, U.S. tennis star Andy Roddick withdrew from the Dubai Championships this week in protest over Israeli Shachar Pe'er's exclusion from the women's tournament. Roddick won last year's tournament. This year's tournament carried a purse of $2.2 million. In a follow-up to recent news, the infamous Holocaust-denying bishop Richard Williamson issued an apology through a Catholic news agency Thursday. In the statement, he asserted he regrets his remarks, and that if he had known the harm his remarks would have caused, he wouldn't have made them. Williamson also said his statements in a recent interview on Swedish television were based on the opinion of a non-historian, formed 20 years ago on the basis of evidence then available, and rarely expressed in public since. Williamson seemed to stop short of declaring those opinions were wrong, however. As a reminder, here's a clip of his appearance on Swedish television.
I believe there were no gas chambers. Yes.
Finally, while luxury spending has mostly ground to a halt in the United States, our Margie Rauhat found one event where expensive kosher wines were flowing.
Gourmet kosher wines hail from all kinds of places these days, and attendees at the Kosher Food and Wine Experience in Manhattan were tasting vintages from not just Israel, but also France, Argentina, Italy, and many other countries.
What I've seen over the last 10, 15 years is a big expansion in terms of kosher wine, in terms of what's available out there, in terms of the quality of kosher wines.
And despite a hefty admission fee of more than $100 a head to taste the best kosher wines, event organizers claim more than 850 attended the event, and all agree that kosher wine sales continue to be strong despite a premium.
So if you take some of the best California wines we have here, they'll be probably 30%, if not higher, kosher than non-kosher, of the same vineyards and the same vintages.
Despite the economic storm clouds brewing outside, everyone inside is seeing things through rosé-colored glasses.
Well, if there's one way to escape the economy, is to drink a little wine.
And event organizers were grateful for that.
Thank God from the numbers that we're seeing and reservations. We're very happy that people are still going out.
Winemakers were optimistic too. One vintner said winemaking isn't affected by the economy the same way other businesses are.
We're not sprint runners. You make the wine and you put it in the cellar in the barrels. You don't know what the market is going to be 2 and 3 years later when you will sell it.
And Jeff Morgan of Napa Valley Covenant Wines feels confident that he'll always have a market in the Jewish community.
I'm thoroughly optimistic. People can't stop, they can't stop making Kiddush. That's not allowed.
That's all for the Kosher Food and Wine Experience. Reporting from the Jewish Channel, I'm Margie Rauhut. Back to you, Stephen.
Thank you, Margie. That's all for this week. For more news and analysis from the Jewish Channel, please visit newsdesk.tjctv.com. From all of us here at the Jewish Channel, be well. The Jewish Channel is available on cable, IO Optimum Cable Channel 291, Time Warner Cable Channel 528, and Verizon Fios Channel 900. For more information, visit tjctv.com.